If you've been writing down course ideas in your notebook, Google Docs, or let's be honest, the back of a Starbucks napkin, it's time to level up. Today, I'll show you how to take those ideas and actually build a real online course inside ThriveCart Learn. No tech headaches, no monthly fees that feel like a gym membership you forgot to cancel. Let's go. So, ThriveCart isn't just a checkout tool anymore. It comes with ThriveCart Learn, which is their built-in course hosting platform. I've been using it for about 2 years, and honestly, it's one of the easiest and most affordable ways to set up a digital course. Now, quick disclaimer. I'm assuming you already know the ThriveCart basics, like creating products and checkout pages. If not, I dropped a beginner-friendly ThriveCart tutorial in the description below. You might want to watch that first so you're not totally lost. Okay, before we click any buttons, let's talk about the deal of the century. ThriveCart currently offers a lifetime license. That means you pay once and boom, no monthly fees ever. I don't know about you, but I love tools that don't act like a subscription gremlin eating away at my bank account every month. If you don't have an account yet, I'll leave my affiliate link below. It helps support the channel, so thank you. Okay, so once you're logged into ThriveCart, you're going to see a lot of different things. If you have any questions on creating products, creating checkout pages, and the ThriveCart basics, so to say, please check out the tutorial that I've linked for you in the description below. Okay, that tutorial focuses much more on ThriveCart basics, whereas today we're actually going to focus a little bit more on the learn aspect of the platform. Okay, so let's talk about creating courses together inside ThriveCart. What we're going to do here is we're going to navigate to this graduation cap icon here. This is where you create courses. Okay, this is the Learn tab inside ThriveCart. I'm actually already here. Just so that you know, you have the option to organize your courses into projects. Okay, so if you're planning to have multiple courses, projects help keep things organized. I'll create a project together with you. So, new project, I'm going to call it HubSpot courses. I am a HubSpot consultant and I have a number of courses on HubSpot. And so, let's say I want to keep all my courses inside the same project here. I'll create a project first and then I'm going to create the actual course, if that makes sense. Okay, good. This is a course setup screen. Let's fill in some course details. This is an example, what I'm going to add here, right? I'm not actually planning to build this exact course right now, even because I already have it. It's already live. This is just an example. Good. So the course name will be HubSpot for beginners. Okay. The author will be Milan, and the course description will be this one here. So HubSpot for beginners is a step-by-step course, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. Now, a few important aspects that we have to take into consideration. You have to add a support email or URL. People need to be able to contact you somehow, right? So let me go ahead and let me add my email. Good. Default English of the course is English. These items here are optional. I would definitely recommend you to upload a course logo. So let me just go ahead and let me just add something here. So I simply uploaded an image here. It's just a thumbnail that I have. So this is the sort of the logo of the course. You can also add a profile image for yourself here, a photo of you if you're the instructor and so on. Now, what is the course layout that you can go for? There are different options to work with here. The one I've been using for most of my courses right now is actually this one here, sidebar. Okay. Basically, this shows where the menu of the course is located, in the sidebar, in the top, or as a grid. So let me just leave this option here. Let me click to create my course, and the course will be presented in this style here, in left sidebar format, as I indicated just now. Good. Now it's time to start editing this course. The basic course shell is ready, so let's take a look at the course builder interface. Here on the left, you'll see your course elements. You can add a module. Modules are like chapters in a book, and you can add lessons, right? Lessons are like the pages inside those chapters. So typically what we do is we create a module and then we add lessons inside these modules, right? Here you can also see your course info, right? The thumbnail that I just added, the description. I actually forgot to add an image. I was showing you this image, this placeholder just now, but I forgot to add it. Either way, I can always just simply click here and upload one from my computer, okay? Good. So let me just leave it like this for now. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a module together with you. So the module will be called HubSpot Basics. This is an important aspect of creating modules. Is this module going to be available for all your students or only students that have specific tags? Let me explain this better. When you're creating products inside ThriveCart, you have the ability to select which tags will be assigned to those students. Okay, so suppose that you're giving your students the ability to buy different sections without a course. A student bought chapters, modules 1, 2, 3, but not 4 and 5 because they already know that topic, so they didn't buy, right? And so by using tags, you can, select who exactly will be able to see that content. Okay, this is how you segment your audience there. You can work with tags inside ThriveCart. So just as an example, I have a tag called pre-recorded content only, right? So someone might have purchased the pre-recorded content of my course, but not, for example, the whole bundle, right? And so I have these tags here inside ThriveCart, and I can select exactly who has access to this content that I'm creating here. If you have any questions on tags, please watch that tutorial that I'm linking below. Good. Let me just leave all students for now and click to create my module. Now it's time to add lessons inside these modules. Really simple process. I'm going to click to to drag a lesson here. I'm going to give it a name. So let's say fundamentals. Right? And I'm going to click to create my lesson. Good. I'm going to click on edit and I'm going to finally edit the very first lesson of my course. So here's where the magic happens. By default, I always have a title and text placeholders added here for me. All I have to do is edit them. Let me just copy some text that I've created with ChatGPT and add it here. And we'll talk about editing placeholders. So let me just simply copy what I have here. Give me 1 second. And I want to paste this in here, okay? Good. This is the issue that we have with ThriveCart sometimes. When you simply copy text from one place to ThriveCart, such as, from your Google Docs to ThriveCart, your ChatGPT to ThriveCart, right? Might end up with this result here, which is your text gets simply presented in a very weird way, right? We have one big chunk of text, so no formatting at all. One thing that can help sometimes, not always, okay, just so that you know, is to place your text as plain text. Let me just show you this option here. So when I click with the right button of my mouse, I have the option to paste as plain text. Okay, this helps sometimes. In my case, it didn't, as you could see here. Okay, but depending on where you're copying your text from, using this option sometimes helps with the formatting. Either way, in my case, it didn't. And so I have to manually adjust my formatting here. Okay, so let me just do this like this. It's simply a text editor, right? Form. So let me just adjust this like this. Takes a little bit of manual work. It's part of the process of using the text module inside ThriveCart. So in short, I'm just gonna delete this part here because I want to talk to you about the formatting here. So a few things. How do I add bullet points? I select the text and I select this option here. Okay, here are my bullet points. If I want to have the heading bigger than the rest of the text, there is not a way for me to change, for example, the size of the heading if the whole thing is in one block only. This way, when they're in separate modules, I can actually adjust the size however I want, as you can see here. Let me try to do the same with this and you'll see what happens here. I'm selecting just this part here, right? Everything gets big, right? And so that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm actually looking, increase just this text here. And so basically my, best practice that I have to recommend you here is the following. Have each element in its own placeholder. Text in its own placeholder, heading, same thing, right? Images, videos, whatever you want to add to your lesson, just have them in separate placeholders because you want to be able to adjust the style, okay? Formatting and so on. In this case here, I can work with a different font size. I can work with a different text color, different font as well. I can increase the line height, letter spacing, everything else I want. But everything that I adjust in here will be valid for this whole block of text, if that makes sense. Like this, perfect. Good. What else can we add in terms of elements? We can also add images by dragging this module here. Okay, let's say I want to add this image here. It's here. Okay. And the other reason why we want to have different placeholders for things is because you can always add things in between them. For example, I wouldn't really have the ability to add an image right here because once again, this whole thing is one placeholder only, right? Whereas here, I can drag this image here if I want to, as they are different placeholders. And so definitely have different placeholders for things you want to add. I would recommend against having, for example, text and image in the same module, right? In the same placeholder, the same section, just because images, you won't be able to adjust it well. But this is essentially how you add elements. Let me just decrease the size of this image here. It's a bit too big. Perfect. What else can we add? We can add dividers. These are just simple lines that separate content. You can add FAQs, right? One question. They have the ability to see the answer right here. I'm not going to do this for now, but this option is available as well. I can add content into different columns. For example, if I want to have, let's say, text here in the left and image on the right, I can do this, right? Because I'm adding two different placeholders. Let's say this is the image that I want to go for. It's just an example, right? And then the text goes in here. So I'm adding a different layout, which is actually a new feature. ThriveCart didn't have this until some time ago. And as you can see here, you always have the ability to delete sections if you need, okay? We just delete this element. Great. Let's talk a little bit about videos inside lessons. One particularity that we have inside ThriveCart is that it doesn't actually host video. Okay, this is very important for you to know. So when you create courses inside platforms such as, for example, Kajabi, Teachable, Thinkific, right? They give you the ability to host the video inside the platform. And that's typically why they're more expensive as well. Video hosting costs a lot, right? Now, ThriveCart doesn't do this. ThriveCart gives you the ability to add embed code of a video that you have hosted somewhere else. So basically, when you're using ThriveCart, you have to have a hosting solution. Please have in mind that I'm recording this video, we are in September 2025, depending on when you're watching this video, perhaps things change. As of now, time of recording this video here, this is how it works. You have to add embed code for the video that you want, okay? So let me show you my workaround for this challenge. I'm using a tool called Loom.com. Loom is actually a video recording platform, right? It's a platform that allows you to record your screen and also your webcam like this. When you record videos inside Loom, your videos are hosted inside Loom, as you can see here. And so you always get an embed code to add this exact video to somewhere else if you want to, right? And it's the exact same thing if you're using Vimeo and any other video hosting solutions. So if I click to share video, I get an embed code, which is located here. All I have to do is click to copy and then place the embed code right here inside my ThriveCart. Talita, I cannot see the video here. Well, it's not going to show in preview mode. Let me just save this and preview to show you how the video displays. So here is my video, okay? Obviously, it makes sense to increase the size here. So let me go ahead and let me go back to my lecture and let me increase the size of the video. Let's just leave it like this, okay? So I am using Loom because it's very, very cost effective and it allows me to not only record my screen, but also host my videos. You can go for Vimeo, you can even go for YouTube, right? On YouTube, you also get an embed code for your videos. You can simply place them here. But yes, this is a very important aspect of using ThriveCart is the fact that you don't really host your videos inside ThriveCart. You have to find a separate solution for that, okay? This is basically how you edit a lesson. Let me just change this title here as it doesn't make any sense. HubSpot fundamentals. Okay, so suppose that, I'm ready with my lecture as it is. I have a good mix of text, images, video is very dynamic. I'm ready with it. All I have to do is click to save. What is the difference between save as a draft and publish? Well, suppose that this course here was already public, right? I'm simply adding a new lecture to the course. If I click on publish, the lecture will be live for my students that are already enrolled in the course. If I save it as a draft, the lecture won't be live. It will be saved only for myself. This is the difference between these two options here. Once I'm done, I'm gonna click on publish and then the lecture gets tagged as published. Okay, good. What kind of options do we have in terms of enabling access to the content inside a course? ThriveCart gives you two options here, instant and dripped. Instant means that as soon as the student enrolls, they get immediate access to all the course modules and lessons at once. Okay, it's perfect if your course is really ready to go. Dripped, with this option here, you can release the content gradually over time. For example, module 1 might unlock right away, but module 2 only becomes available a week after, or something like that, right? This is awesome if you're running a cohort program, if you want to pace learning or just keep students engaged for longer. So you have these two options here. Don't forget to keep on saving your work just to avoid any issues and avoid that you might lose your work for one reason or another. You can click to continue editing your course at any time, or you can go back to your main ThriveCart dashboard. Okay, let me just show you what we have here in terms of course options. If a subscription payment fails, this only applies if your course is sold on a subscription, okay? If someone's payment bounces, you can pause dripping new content until payment is made, and you can also disable all access, right? So you have this option here, but once again, it's only valid for subscription courses. Here inside automation rules, this is actually really cool. You can set up automatic actions based on what your students do. For example, let's say when a student finishes a specific module, you could automatically tag them in your email marketing platform, subscribe them to a webinar, or even unlock a bonus, okay? All you have to do is add an automated rule here. Very, very easy. In this case here, I actually have ThriveCart connected with my ConvertKit account. And so I can actually add rules to do something inside ConvertKit once something else happens inside ThriveCart, right? For example, a student completes a module inside ThriveCart, then inside ConvertKit, I'm adding another tag to their profile or something like that. This works only if you have integrations set up. Once again, never forget to click to save. I forgot to mention that you always have the option to customize the course registration page and the login page as well. By default, they have a specific format, right? You can always add text, you can add images, you can do whatever you want, following the exact same step by step. So you can always change these two pages as they are here by default and they are not very styled or anything. This is how the signing page looks like. You can make it more personalized, okay? Okay, good. Once you're done, you're gonna click on save and exit. This is really important because sometimes you might end up losing work if you're not saving constantly. Very important aspect, publishing the course and connecting it with a product. Good, so the course itself is ready. How do I actually sell this course, right? You're going to connect this course with a product. So let me go to my products. Create a new product. These steps are exactly what I focus in my tutorial, the one I have linked below, okay? Let's just say, HubSpot 101, and I'll, edit my product right here. I'll work with my Stripe payment details. In the fulfillment section, this is where I'm going to connect my course with this product here. What should happen after purchase? I'm going to add them to my membership website, and I'm going to select the course that I've just created, okay? So this is how you connect your product that you have inside ThriveCart with the course that you've just created. At the end, all things are connected, right? Someone goes through your checkout page inside ThriveCart, they will click to buy your course, and they will be redirected to that login page where they create an account and access your course right away. And that was all. All things considered, ThriveCart Learn is a super simple and affordable course hosting system. Yes, you'll need an external video hosting service, as we discussed, but that's usually like, I don't know, $10 a month. And honestly, ThriveCart pays for itself as soon as you make your first few course sales. That's why I always recommend it to my students and clients. It's lightweight, it's reliable, and you won't wake up one day with, surprise subscription fees. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what course are you planning to launch with ThriveCart.